Hello and welcome to the Think Share. My name is Zach, here to bring to what I've been thinking about, sharing about, talking about, listening to, reading about that doesn't belong in math class. That's not on the standardized test. That's to make you the goodest version of yourself. If you're new to the channel, I invite you to subscribe. Um, I'm I'm actually really excited about tonight's topic. I was thinking about it here and there all day, trying to figure out what I wanted to talk about. But yesterday, I was speaking with somebody and trying to give some advice. They'd sort of reached out to me, and at some point I talked about journaling. And in that process, I realized there's no one good way to journal. There's tons of different ways to journal. And so I realized I have all my journals with me, which I don't normally have all of them with me. And I realized how excited I was because I'm thinking now I haven't prepped myself for this, but I'm thinking I'm gonna dive into like, I don't know, some eighth grade journal entries. I'm gonna dive into some 20-something-year-old journal entries, but I'm just gonna show you guys a bunch of stuff. I've done a lot of journaling in my life, and I'm really glad that I've done it. It's a really cool time capsule. Um, and it makes for really entertaining afternoons if you want to read through it. But I think I've gotten a lot of value out of it, out of self-reflecting, and I wanted to share with you some ideas around it. If you're interested in journaling, not sure what you might get out of it and what you might be interested in. Hey, Tori. Hey, Courtney. Hey, Dev. I did get your email, and I have not responded yet. I don't know if you saw yesterday's live stream. I'm going on a 10-day meditation retreat, which altogether is actually going to be about 3 total weeks. So one thing I was thinking is we could, maybe while I'm in San Francisco, I could do 1 or 2 Skype calls for free. And the idea being just to help you stay thinking about math. Hey, Josh. Hey, Jace. So here's what I wanted to start with, is kind of what I'm doing nowadays. So in the thumbnail, I don't know if you guys saw it, these are a bunch of my journals. I have a couple more. This one is from July 2005 to 2007. This one, I don't have a date for it. Oh, starts 8/11/2008 and goes until, holy poop. They're also like, sometimes I turn them into sort of scrapbooks. This one, I'm not sure. I don't see a date at the end here, but I wrote really small. This goes till 2010. So it's a 2-year period. This one started originally, started in Italy in like 2004. Like the first thing is a picture of SpongeBob. And then I picked it back up. And so so there's like 2 random entries from 2005, and then it's 2013 till November 2015. And then this one here, this is actually a thank journal that I started, I think it was been like June 2016, and I'm still writing in it because I just write what I'm thankful for in here, like at the beginning of the day. This one's a little bit different. So Aspen Tech is the company I used to work for. But what's in here is here and there when Alyssa and I would do sort of goal setting and dream setting. We did this exercise where you write like what the day in the life that you want to live is 10 years down the line. So the idea is 10 years down the line, you literally write, this is what I did today, as if it's in past tense. So we got one from January 23rd, 2014, and I wrote it as if it were January 23rd, 2024. So there's a couple of those in here. And this one was meant to be like, we would keep just kind of doing long-term, big picture kind of thinking. This purple one, which she got me this one in 2016, but it starts out, April 30th, 2016, and goes till the end of, I think the end of the summer 2017. And this one I'm currently working on. So I wanted to start with this, is what I'm currently doing with journaling. Hey, Cliff. Hey, Josephine. What I'm currently doing with journaling is it's sort of notes on my life. Sometimes it's like just me full out telling the story of something. I was flipping through and I found like one day I remember really being upset about something. You know how sometimes you get just really upset about something and it's like it totally owns your brain. Like there's nothing else you can do but think about that. And so what I did was I journaled it out. I talked about what actually happened, how I was feeling about those things. And as I kept writing, I started being able to sort of talk through my own emotions. It's sort of talking through reality rather than the observations that I'd sort of made up about reality. Because I think what happens is when we sort of journal about what specifically happened, sometimes we realize that what we're upset about might not be real. We're able to look at it at a more objective perspective. Um, so currently, some of the things that I'm doing, let me share. I'm not going to share necessarily specific details, but I will share with you sort of the ideas. So like one of I think it's kind of fun looking at it sort of as a timeline. So like on here is what I wrote today that I'm working on is my master to-do list. I have a lot of things I have to get done in the next 24, 27 hours to go to California. So I got a to-do list in here. Page before, I'm actually working on, so for those of you that know, I Emmanuel Talks Depression. He's another YouTube channel. I think he has somewhere just over 1,000 or somewhere between 1 and 2,000. I was really inspired by one of the videos that he created. I put it in one of my playlists and I contacted him saying, hey, would you mind if I hope this is flattering to you. I want to steal your idea of this video. I'm going to talk about a totally different topic, but he did some really nice nature scenes, close up, slow mo, sped up, etc. And he talked over the whole thing, and it was all B-roll, and then there was some music in the background. But I wanted to steal the music that he had found, and do my own little monologue in the back of my own B-roll. But I like right here. This is the monologue that I want to do for that video. And even right before that, you can see these are my notes from when I was watching the video. Is depression. So his channel is Depression Talks with Emmanuel, and the name of the video is What is the Purpose of Life Breakdown. So I pointed out that for 1:10 is the actual time he's talking. He did 21 different clips, like 21 different B-rolls. Did slow-mo, regular, fast, like time lapse. And my thoughts on it were, I think the music combined with a few moments where the words match the scenery, like living with a greater purpose of oneself and then looking up at trees or trying to make people smile is what he said. And then doing these goofy smiles. Like, I think those were some of the keys to the video that made it really good. So those are some notes on a video. Let's see, day before that, I've been doing some recaps of my day. So some days I'm really just unimpressed with what I've accomplished. And so what I'll do is I'll start with like the beginning of the day. So woke up at 7, forgot / missed doctor's appointment, made eggs for breakfast, walked down to the pond, meditated and journaled, came back, worked on airfare, then organized basement with mom, read Marcus Aurelius for 90 minutes and took notes, working on finding places to stay in California. I'm realizing the worst that happens is I have to pay $600 for rental car or a few $100s for places to stay. And I said, like, I woke up at the time I wanted. I journaled the amount of time that I wanted with Marcus Aurelius. I meditated the way I wanted to. I actually had a reasonably healthy breakfast, eggs. So the recap, I think, can be really useful. It was kind of funny. I saw an Instagram quote today. It just said, the greatness is getting just a little bit better every day. And I think it was Brian Tracy was one of the people that had said, if you can get 1/100th of 1% better every day, and you can do that for the rest of your life, I forget what the compounded number was, but you'll be a couple 100,000 times better than when you started. Hi, Neolite. So when you do a recap, when you look at all the actions of your day and the way that you reacted to different things, I think that can make for a really good opportunity to notice how you react to things and how you can improve on things. Whenever I'm talking with sort of teenagers or even myself, recapping the day and how it went, a lot of times, whether the day was sort of overall good or bad has often a lot to do with how I reacted to a certain situation. So um, let's say in this that I got down to the pond and it started raining. Well, I brought an umbrella with me, but that might have not given me the opportunity to journal. Or I know sometimes my parents will be like watching TV kind of loud, and I'll be annoyed by it, and like I'll just want to get out of the house or something. I think one of the things that I can do in the journal that is valuable to do there that not everyone is going to do, and people that don't journal won't get this out of it, is that, thank you, Chase. Have fun in Cali. Go experience things. I'll do my best. um, I think that one of the things we can do is if we can notice how we react emotionally to certain things, then we can improve on it the next day. Because once we are cognizant of it, once we're conscious of it, then we can make changes. But if we're just going through our day, reacting to things, dealing with things the way that we always do, and we never reflect on it again, there's a very good chance we'll just keep doing it that way. So say we have a really negative reaction or like really sad or angry or frustrated or annoyed reaction to something that comes up all the time. If we could take a pause and recognize the only thing we have control over is how we react to things in our own minds, then we can look on that situation and say, well, how else could I handle that? How else could I react? How do I want to be in that situation? Like, I know one thing is that, my parents, they watch a solid amount of TV, and I get really annoyed sometimes. I love them. And part of it is I know that I hate myself when I watch like a lot of TV. I feel like I've wasted a lot of my time in life already watching TV. And so I really tried to cut back on it. Like, I'll know there's a moment when we'll watch like a specific show or something, and Tori, I'll get to your comment in a second. We'll be watching a specific show or something, and then mom will say, all right, I'm going to bed, and dad might just kind of hang out for a little bit longer. And there's that moment where it's like, the question is, where is the clicker or the remote going to go? And what am I going to do right now? And I'm lazy and I don't want to get up from the couch because it's pleasant, but I'll say, Mom, turn the TV off, because I'll know that it's bad for my future. Either way, I'm kind of getting off topic. Either way, sometimes I get annoyed because I hate for myself when I do it. So sometimes I sort of cast that anger, that frustration about myself onto them. And the only way I'm able to say this to you right now is because I've reflected on it. Because I've looked at, I don't want to be annoyed with my parents. My parents are just doing what they do. It's not like they're trying to be annoying. It's not like there's anything inherently annoying about what they're doing. They're just watching TV. They're just doing something that they enjoy. And who am I to judge that? And by writing things down like that and acknowledging that I get annoyed about it, I can recognize they're going to keep doing what they're going to do. I can talk smack to them and be like, you guys waste a bunch of time watching TV. One, that's not going to do anything that's not going to shift anything. That's not going to change anything. It's just probably going to get me angry. It's probably going to have them be annoyed, and we won't get to like love each other in that interaction. Today I found one of my favorite quotes, and I set it as a reminder on my phone. So every morning starting tomorrow, I'll remember to choose how my day will be and make it good. That's awesome, Tori. Glad to hear it. Oh, wait, so is that the quote itself? To remember to choose how your day will be? Zachary the Legend one. Thank you, Ty. So yeah, recently I've been doing a lot of recaps. Back when I was really into this book, Tim Ferriss, Tools of the Titans. One of the things that he said, a couple of people, I forget who it was in here. I have a ton of these little bookmark things. I don't know which one it is. Oh, no, stream of consciousness journaling. No. All right. I don't know where it is. But one of the ideas that it talked about, which there's a solid amount of them in this purple journal from when I was reading it, is it said to write down like the top 10 things that happen in your day and top 3 things that you might try to improve on for the future. So I think that recapping the day can be really powerful because you're reflecting on your emotions. You're looking to see, of the things that you can control, would you change the way that you handled them? And I think that if we can improve on that every day, someone gave me a really wonderful comment. They said, Watson, you're always upbeat, you're always happy. How do you do it? And I think that's one of the reasons, is because I acknowledge that the only thing I can control is my mind and how I react to situations. I can't control the situations. I can take actions on them. I can do my best to create better situations for myself. And on some level, there's only so much impact I can have with every situation in my life. So getting upset over circumstances happening to me, I'd really do my best not to let that happen. What I do try to do the best of is control how I react and be aware and conscious of how I react. I feel like I've probably repeated myself quite a bit. I apologize for that. So the other day I was reading Marcus Aurelius' Meditations. These are a couple of my notes on it. Those are some of the things that sort of stuck out to me. The reason I write these things down is I'm thinking, sometime when I'm looking back, I think by writing things down, similar to like when you're writing notes for class, just by writing it down can make a really big difference in how we remember things. If we're writing down words, I feel like there's a better chance we're going to remember those words. If we have a feeling or an emotion that comes with a memory, we might not always remember it quite the way that's useful to us. Let's see. One of the issues that's been going on in my life, I made a list of some of the things that I can be doing about it. And I made a list of the things that I have no control over. And that was one of the things that really helped me sort of put in perspective how I've been acting around it. So it's similar to what I was saying before. This one right here is simply, it's a journal of like how the day rolled out, how it happened, what happened, how I was. I didn't really reflect on it. I think just writing it out was enough for me, and I was thinking about it as I was going along. This one right here, every once in a while I'll do this when I'm not, I like calling people when I'm driving oftentimes, because sometimes I get so bored driving that I get sleepy, and it's not that I'm tired, I get bored. So I'll call people. But if I'm sitting down and like just hanging out, not driving, oftentimes I'll take notes on phone calls with people. And I think, I forget who it was, they said, I think it was Jim Rohn that said he has like a journal, like with a bunch of names in it. I actually heard about Bill Clinton did this as well, is they had notes on the relationships that they had in their life. Like Bill Clinton had a set of like thousands of like index cards of people that he would meet along the way, and he'd call them randomly and just write down some notes about their conversation, their relationship. So like I called my cousin Pat, and talked about him with something the other day, and I just jotted down some notes about what we talked about. Same thing with my other friend Brian that's in California. In here I got a to-do list. I think oftentimes I have a really hard time organizing myself and what I want to do today. Hi, Kaylee. I think I'm going to try journaling. I've never been good with words, LOL. One reason I would recommend journaling, so based on Tori's comment here, is I think by writing things down in words, I think it helps you get better at working with words. I think a lot of people communicate with body language and emotions and a lot of nonverbal communication. And I think there's a lot of people, including myself, and a lot of people have been telling me it's actually more of a male-female thing. I don't know if I believe in that quite yet, because I don't want to judge or generalize a large population. But I feel like there are a lot of people that if they were to be better with words and be straightforward with their communication, I think it could often be easier to form relationships and get things done. So yeah, Tori, I think it's a great reason to start journaling, is to practice letting your words out. And I think sort of acknowledge what's going on in your head. This is from the other day. I was listening to The Monk That Sold His Ferrari, and these are my notes that I was taking on the book. There's a fable in it that has like It's just a big metaphor, and I was trying to break down the metaphor. This was actually, so I made a grid. So back when I had 2 job offers, I'm not going to show you who they are, but back when I had 2 job offers, I wrote a pros and cons list and compared the 2 schools to see which of them I thought would work out better. Ended up choosing neither of them, and I chose one of the other ones that I got an offer from. Here are some more notes based on a phone call that I had. Reflections on a morning. To-dos. Reflections on a day. But yeah, so this is a bit of what I've been doing recently. Closer to the beginning of the year, I was doing that thing where I was sort of reflecting on the top 10 things that I was doing throughout the day, and then reflecting on the 3 things that I would improve on. But let's here's another. So dreamlining. So Tim Ferriss in the 4-Hour Work Week talks about dreamlining, which is rather than goal setting. A lot of people think like, oh, I want to make a lot of money so I can have a nice house and I can have a nice car. I can do X, Y, Z. People don't realize is that you're probably a lot closer to living the lifestyle that you want than you think. So what Tim said was design the exact life on paper in words written down that you want. So maybe it looks like this: living in San Francisco, waking up at 5 a.m. doing CrossFit for an hour, stretching for a half hour with a spouse, having a protein shake and smoothie and coffee with some friends from CrossFit, then going to take a walk along the beach, and then going to work as a teacher, and then just you come up with how your day looks. And what you do from there is you say, well, CrossFit membership, that'll cost something. A smoothie every day with coffee at an upscale shop, that'll cost something every day. And what you do is you create a monthly cost plan / outline of how much you think everything will cost. So like I wrote down, we want a vacation house in Vermont, Colorado, California. I want to own a Tesla, which will be either $500 a month or like $35,000. I want 2 to 3 children, which would probably be about $1,200 per child per month. Yoga memberships, $400 a month. Personal chef, $5,000 a month. CrossFit membership, $200 a month. 4 international trips per year. $1,200 times 5 people times 1/3, $2,000 a month. I forget why I'm multiplying by 1/3. Yeah, I don't know. 2 to 3 nights out per week, like going to dinner instead of like eating in and cooking. Hosting events once a month, like having wine dinner parties. That's $1,000 a month. So what we did was you came up with a ton of the stuff that we wanted to do and put a dollar value to it. And what you can do with that is you can come up with a really specific number for how much money you want to earn per month. So let's say my vehicle for making the monthly income that I wish, which I don't know that I ever actually finished this one off, but goal setting is certainly a great place to do. Goal setting is a great thing to do in your journal. Once you come down to it, let's say it comes out to, I don't know, $10,000 per month. Then from there, I can go and see, all right, well, how am I going to go and create $10,000 per month? Maybe I need to get really good at something so I can coach people in it. If part of this vision is I don't want to be working and held down to a specific place, then I need to figure out a way that I can be mobile, sort of like my interview the other day with Catherine, Wi-Fi Lifestyler. She said she can do her job anywhere where there's Wi-Fi. So similar to the Tim Ferriss 4-Hour Work Week, he said he wanted to create a business that he could work on for 4 hours per week and just mostly cash checks, which he talks. It's a really great book if you're somebody that's interested in trying to get free of the 9-to-5 ideal of earning a paycheck and putting in 40 hours per week. It's a great book to get started. I think that you need to be somewhat risk averse. You have to be able to take on some risk to be able to do that, but it's a really great outline. So yeah, goal setting is another really great thing that I do a lot in here. I enjoy goal setting so much though that I do a lot of it on Google Docs because it's constantly changing, and I've found a lot of enjoyment in sharing it with people. So I end up printing it out quite a bit. So that's why it's not so much in here and it's on there. But I think goal setting is a really great thing to do in here. Going to try journaling. Okay, good. Hello. I love journaling. Great way to save memories without social media. So true. A TV. It's late. Agreed. It is past midnight. Hey, good to see you. My Jacob. That's how I'm going to say your name. My Jacob. Because I feel like it looks like Jacob, but it's not really. Spirits of the night. What would you recommend as motivation to journal? I find I always have the time, supplies, and desire to journal, but I always never do it because I'm lazy. Any advice? My guess is it sounds like a good idea to you, and it doesn't occur like something that's really important. So one of the things that I've been doing is making it urgent because one, I've done just a little bit of it, and I really have felt some of the recent effects of it. The other morning, actually the past couple mornings, not including today, I've meditated for 20 minutes and then just journaled about whatever kind of came up, whatever felt important at the time. And by the end of the session, maybe 45 minutes to an hour and a half, I've just been really satisfied and like just feel really fulfilled in what I wrote down. So part of it could be you haven't journaled in a while. You forget why you would care about it. It seems like a good idea, but it hasn't sunk in. It's sort of like, you know, how people say they want to go to the gym or they want to go to yoga. You know, you feel really great after yoga. You feel really great after going to the gym. You know, all the tight muscles and it's like you're swole and stuff, like feels good. And that's what gets people going back. So what I would say is that's one idea, is think about what do you actually want to get out of journaling. For me, this helps me become a better person every day. This helps me, I think, set a good tone for the beginning of my day. I think if you can define what it's going to do for you, I think that will give you a much better idea of why you're doing it. And when you get to the point where you're doing it, I think you'll enjoy it a bit more. And I think momentum will take you from there, but it might take the first week or so that you'll really need to push yourself and motivate yourself. Otherwise, motivation is not so great. I'm also guilty of, I've been on a good stint of journaling, and like, you know, when I'm busier, when the school year hits, like, I don't know, I journal every once in a while when it just hits me. But as I'm on summer break, I've been much more reflective. I've been going through some challenging times. It's a good place to put down ideas and like creative ideas and stuff. So I would say one thing that could also help you motivate you is put money on the line. I don't know if money is, or losing money is something that interests you, but if you said to someone that you live with or someone you live nearby or a friend or something, say, hey, I'm going to journal at 8 a.m. tomorrow morning. See this $10 bill right here? This is yours if I don't have it done. And I know that that's something that motivates me, is if I wake up at 7:30 and I'm like, I don't want to get out of bed, but I have to give $10 to my friend if I don't journal. Okay, all right, I'm up. So that's one idea for you, is to create some like financial accountability for it. My Jacob, trust me, Zach, regardless of how much you earn, you always seem to need more. Yeah, I know what you're saying. And I think part of that is probably once you achieve certain things, like I imagine you probably are able to dream bigger. Like the further you get, the bigger your dream. So I'm not disagreeing. Oh, right. Mike. So yeah, I think dreamlining is still a great idea, because when people are just like striving for like being rich, I think one, that doesn't accomplish much, and two, people, it's like a far off distant idea in a dreamland versus reality. And I think that creating a dreamline is a great way to create like what you actually want your reality to be, instead of like this unspecific, generalized idea of a future. Just made a salad and I'm back. Thanks for sharing that. Journal is a helpful thing for people like me on the ASD spectrum. I mean, it's probably good for everyone. I don't think it's, but I'm sure it's good for you as well. But I would argue that it's probably not any less beneficial for anyone. One thing I'm trying to set as a marriage goal is making do with less. While I make really good money, I always seem to fall further in debt. So I'm trying to keep myself in check more often. Interesting. Have you thought about cutting up your credit cards at all? And or when you say debt, is that like you're taking out mortgages on your house, or is that you're using credit cards? Like one of the things Alyssa and I do, so that we could keep our good credit with the cards that we have, is we just have our monthly expenses that really don't change. Like, you know, my Audible account is $15 a month. We buy all our groceries on one of the credit cards, and most of the buying that we do is online anyway. We do Peapod orders through Stop and Shop. And what was the other one? Like we have our cable bill set up on one of them. We only use our credit cards for reoccurring things that can be automatically paid off. So it might as well be like with a debit card, and we just do that to keep the credit card alive, because apparently it seems silly, but it hurts your credit if you don't use them. So we don't actually carry our credit cards on us. They just stay in the safe, and then they just get used automatically. I only have 3 credit cards. My other half has over 10. Holy crap. That's scary. Oh my God. What do I need else for? Usually use my debit card only. Yeah. I mean, I remember when I was single, back in like 2012, 13, and I was like, oh, I can get a credit card. You know, I wasn't too bad about using it. The only time I fell into debt was because I couldn't get full financing for my college semester. So I put a ton of it on my credit card because I couldn't get a student loan for it. So I paid out of pocket my college loans, and then like I just didn't have any money for anything else. So I put groceries and I put phone bill and all the normal stuff on the credit card. And so that was how I fell into debt, but I haven't been in debt since. Would you ever do a journal flip through video? Yeah, well, that's part of what I was going to do. So that was a little bit of flipping through the one that I'm currently doing right now. Oh yeah, I think I picked out 2 little spots. So this is the one that I was writing in the last year and the year before. So some of you may know and or are learning more about. I've done a lot of work in the past with Landmark. The Landmark Forum is the flagship course. If you look up, I think it's landmarkworldwide.com, you can learn all about their courses and stuff. Huge advocate for it. If you are in a rut in your life, just go do the Landmark Forum. Make a huge difference. If you've done the forum and you are trying to bring more aliveness or spice in your life, I'd recommend doing the advanced course and self-expression leadership program. The reason I bring this up is because one of the tools that I learned there was that oftentimes what we do is we make up stories about what actual things happen in our life. So here I was, I don't really want to share this one just because it would be kind of, I want to say gossipy. Like if the person that this is about saw it, I don't think they'd be too happy. But what I did in this case was I said, one of the practices I've tried to get into is saying, I have it that. So you know how sometimes we say, this person is annoying. Instead, I say, I have it that this person is annoying. As in, it's my observation, it's my interpretation. It's not necessarily reality. It's just what I think about the situation. So I said, I have it that this person does not support me in X, Y, and Z ways. What is actually so, like reality, is that, and then I describe that. And when we can realize those 2 things, then we can say the next sentences. This story that I've created, like the way I have it, despite reality, costs so much that, and then I talk about the cost of it. So working through some of my landmark tools, that was really good practice for creating better mental habits. I think if we can write down things, that can be a really great source for, again, growing the way that our brains work and the way that we think. I'll tell you what, Kayla, I'll do a bit more flipping through some of my older journals from like 8th grade and stuff. I'm sure they can't get too bad. Usually using the dough here in the journal. Use them for travel. Success gets you in trouble. Yeah. Like Killer Rachel's suggestion. What do you do for work? Okay. All right. Another one. So, all right. So this is January 4th, 2017. Wins for the day. Bought Headspace subscription. Printed out differentiated packets for students while I'm out tomorrow. Remembered to do line drills with first period class to work on discipline. Completed errand to help out one of my colleagues. Actually did physics in alternative class at CHS. I was teaching another class at another school, and sometimes we would just end up doing math despite it being a physics class, because we needed the prerequisite skills for it. Scheduled double date with Laura and Sean. Meditated 4th day in a row. Learned about Tai Lopez. Got to work on time. Number 10, skillfully worked around one of the students puking in homeroom. How I could have made, and then the next section is how I could have made the day better. Eat lunch. That was one of them. Call parents of 2 of the students that I was having a tough time with. Work on lesson plans for tomorrow first instead of watching TV. Taking time to create YouTube video rather than watch YouTube. Memorable moments. Dissing match with one of my students when he dissed the name of my wife as ugly, and one of the students puking, and during the physics class being useful during CPT. So it's talking about memorable moments. So there's highlights of the day, then there's like things we can improve on, and then I feel like there's those like life moments that you just remember it. Like I haven't thought about that moment of that. I can remember it pretty vividly of that student puking and me like just dealing with it like appropriately and like not freaking out about it. And I think there's a lot of teachers or students that would have freaked out about it. So like that was a highlight of my day, and I think it's a good memory to have that we can use our journals for. Let's skip over to another one. Let's see. So this is my thank journal that I usually keep in the bathroom pretty close to my toothbrush. So let's go over to February 1st, 2017. I'm thankful for YouTube. I'm thankful for my students that take my class as an opportunity to learn. I'm thankful for how talented and strong I become while working with the morning class. I'm thankful for Alyssa cooking dinner last night. February 2nd, I'm thankful for hot showers on demand for free. I'm thankful for soap and that it's available. I'm thankful for toothpaste and that it's available, along with dental care. I'm thankful for clocks. I'm thankful that Alyssa is really kind to me when I'm having a tough day. So yeah, I usually try to, for the thank journal, I really try to choose one thing that's really easy to take for granted. I try to choose, and thank journal, I'd like to say I do it every day, and I get off track just as much as I get off track with other things. But yeah, I try to do something that is easy to take for granted. I try to be thankful for something that not necessarily taken for granted, but like something a bit more normal. I try to be thankful for something that's hard to be thankful for. Like, I'm honestly not a big fan of present right now. And there are days when I say, I'm thankful for his existence here because, like, because people are more advocating for politics and people care more now than they ever probably have as a nation. And then I try to find something about my wife that I'm thankful for. So, if you don't have a spouse, like, you could choose at least one relationship that you could be thankful for. The other cool thing that I like about these kind of different journals, I like when they have the little elastic thing, because you can put the pencil or pen in it. Also, I'm a big fan of when they have that little string at the bottom to hold your place. Ooh, all right. This one, there's probably some pretty deep stuff. And just to give you a taste of it, like, this is what the writing looks like. It's pretty dense. Some days more dense than others. It also turns into a little bit of a, like, let's see, this right here is, I usually write what they are on them. This one's pretty dirty. Oh, this was from the Spartan race. And then I have a receipt from, I can't even read it anymore. It's from Daniel Webster Highway for $20. I can't tell what it is. But it's also attached to the Lululemon. I think that was when I bought my ABC pants, which I'm wearing right now, from 2014. Oh yeah, that is what it is. Let's all right. I might cut it off if I get uncomfortable. Oh, this is a good one. So March 17th, 2014. Right now I'm on the plane from Baltimore to Boston. I've had the most memorable weekend, and there was only one period of time, which was about an hour or so, where I didn't feel completely present the whole weekend. It started out Friday morning. I showed up at about 7 a.m. so that I could call a half day and leave at 11 a.m. I had a wonderful morning. I felt on top of the world by just accomplishing almost everything I had set out to do. So it's not like I was overachieving. It was what I said I was going to do. I think I'm going to start coming in at 8 a.m. from now till the end of my employment with Aspen. I get an hour almost just to myself to focus. The serenity in that period of time is so wonderful, and it puts me in a more productive environment. Once I left at about 11:18, I joined the Piper family, my in-laws, and got ready for the voyage. We were headed down to Florida. I made it my commitment to ease the dis-ease that lingered from past experiences this family's had together. Almost everyone was sort of running around and like being annoyed with each other and needing their coffee, and like it was I think I was one of the few people that actually worked that morning, just because one was in college, one was in high school. I think Alyssa, was she still in college? Yeah, she was still in college. So I was one of the few, besides the parents, I think they took the day off. So like I'm glad that I wrote that down. I made a commitment to myself to bring ease to the dis-ease. Okay, here's part of the other. This is when I got into the paper for one of the projects I had been working on. The STEM Leaves project, where we tried to get a bunch of my coworkers, I tried to get them to do community service hours at a local high school. I don't know, some of these were dark days that I'm not sure I want to share. Let's go into the more innocent years of my life. So those are some of my single days before Alyssa. All right, so here's some of college. I'm gonna have to read ahead just a little bit before I speak. All right. February 1st, 2009, 3:02 a.m. Oh, so here's something that's cool about these journals. So my personal journal, if you're someone that, a free form journal is just like a little too open and wide and like no structure, this is a really great place to start. So the way that it works is, I don't know if you can see this, it actually asks you questions along the way, and then you sort of answer them. So it starts with, the weather is : and then you write an answer. So I wrote cool and windy. It says, in the news today. Today, Steelers beat the Cardinals in Super Bowl 43. NBC shows start up again tomorrow. Next thing it prompts you is happenings and events with family and friends. This week was my first week at UMass Amherst. I had a really interesting weekend. Next one says, I'm excited / happy about meeting a new friend in physics class, and I've been making friends in my suite up here in Sylvan. It feels good to be with new friends. And for those that don't know anything about UMass or Sylvan, they call it Suicide Sylvan. Reason being because it's very secluded. It is like way off campus. It's like the furthest set of dorms off campus. And because you're in these like suites, you're all sort of roommates and you're all sort of not roommates. So people don't really get to know each other that well, but we watched the Super Bowl together. So I ended up moving out of there about a month later. My concerns, parents, we're going to stop right there. The next thing it says, physically and mentally, I feel : tired, butt hurts from sitting here doing calc online. So calculus. Friday was my best day. I met new people, met Mitch, and I was supposed to see Becky, my new project in physics class, and trying to make friends in classes. So I'll have a partner in each class and someone to talk to and study with, and then go have like lunch with afterwards. Next thing it prompts is it says people / things that brighten my day. Dave, Dan, Evan, Dasha, Kathleen, Grace, Matt, Mitch, Steph, Evans, sister, Lauren, Nicole, Costain, Kelsey, Sadaf, Vicky, Melanie. So I just listed names. I recognize about half of them. Like the other half, I have no idea who some of these people are. I have an idea, but I could probably find them on Facebook. Next thing it prompts you is what I did to brighten someone else's day. Made some new friends, and I think I helped Dave and Dan have fun. I was a solid wingman for Dave the other night. And then the last part says projects, goals, ideas, plans for a better tomorrow. I don't really understand what I'm saying here. Feels not right though. And then on the back side of these pages up top, it just says reflections and notes. So last night I had a dream about CMask and having some kind of dull conference at the high school. I don't remember seeing my advisor or two of my good friends or anyone that I used to love, but I saw one friend. I remember wondering where my other friend was. I feel like it's telling me to get out of Foxborough and that it is dead without my grade. I think it would be a good idea to contact my other friend that is 2 years older than me sometime during the semester. I want to see two of my I want to see two of my friends from my grade this summer. I want to do a road trip to see our other friend in Connecticut. A couple weeks ago, I had a COD dream, Call of Duty, for those that know, where there were like 50 snipers sitting on a rooftop versus a bunch on the ground. It was something like Ring Road, trying to pick them off. Ring Road is it's a place at UMass Dartmouth. All right. Yeah. Journaling about college days. That's always dangerous to do live on YouTube. So let's try high school. Could be arguably just as tough. So as you might notice, there's a lot of things sticking out here. Receipts, bracelets, like right here, this is June 25th, 2006, Big Poppy. But yeah, this thing's like beat up. The one thing is that because of these rings, you can stuff random papers in there and it keeps its form. So one interesting thing I'll have you notice, so right here it's empty. Sometimes I would feel like some days in my life were just so important that I had to write them down. I just didn't have the moment. So I literally wrote down the date and just never got back to it. And because I didn't have social media then, I don't know what happened those days. This looks like an airplane ticket to Venice. So, oh, this was Italy. My parents took me to Italy. Oh yeah, this is the Italy trip that I wanted to journal about and never got back. Holy crap, I saved a lot of space. Oh boy, all right, I think this one will be good. All right, 2000 November 6th, 2005, Sunday. Time is 10:40. So again, this is another journal where it shares it like prompts you. It says the weather, the news and events with family and friends. I'm excited about. I'm concerned about. Physically and mentally, I feel what I learned today, people and things that brighten my day, what I did to brighten someone else's day, goals, ideas for a better tomorrow, and then notes, reflections on the other side. Weather today was foggy. Now it's thunder, rain, and lightning. The news today, a cruise ship burned, pirate attack. Kilroy's making a comeback. Patriots versus Colts Monday night. So for people in my part of the country, Patriots versus Colts, that's when Manning was on the Colts and it was a big rivalry. News and events, family and friends. Apparently we're going up to my uncle and aunt's for Thanksgiving, and I'm probably going to Boston on Friday with two of my friends. Gonna watch the new 50 Cent movie. I think it was Get Rich or Die Trying. I'm excited about the next vibe I go to. So there, sophomore year of high school, there was like this dance place that we used to like. It was like the first time like you just saw like really raunchy dancing happen. Um, it was an interesting place, but for a sophomore, it was like I feel like today, by today's standards, like it's normal, but like back then, I feel like it was pretty raunchy. Um, but it was more like me and my friends had no guts to do anything or ask girls to dance, so we would just watch people acting crazy. So yeah, that was just me being a wallflower. Um, Highness 2006, I'm scared for my next report card, parent teacher conferences, and schoolwork tomorrow. I'm concerned about whether the heck does that mean? Whether I'm going to regret what I did today. I deleted tons of fake celebs and stuff. I have lost all hope on talking with baby Bluetooth. Oh, okay. Oh, I had got some girl's number from that place Vibe, and I think I had been texting her, and I just lost all hope trying to get in contact with her. I was talking to you guys the other day about some of my favorite failures. That was a good one. I must have been texting that person probably for like a week straight, and they just never answered it. Physically and mentally, I feel cold, sort of tired, cozy, wishing I was online right now. So back in 2005, my parents had AOL, like AIM, AOL Instant Messenger, and that was how you contacted people. There weren't smartphones. Like you had to be at a desktop computer or laptop to contact people. So I was like just getting my like bearings about the whole thing. Like it was a big deal if you had someone's instant messenger screen name, or like you didn't really have people's phone numbers anymore. It was a way you could communicate with people your age without your parents, sort of like today's Snapchat almost. What I learned today, there are I'm not sure I feel comfortable sharing that. Just me talking. Oh, what is that? My life story so far. Oh, I'm gonna skip ahead and read to that part. Goals, ideas for a better tomorrow. Get homework done early. Don't procrastinate. Get out and exercise. Don't sit around all day. Classic. And just to give you a little bit of an idea of how much of a child I am, I literally cut out my favorite pieces of Halloween candy and taped them into my journal. Hi, my name's Zach, and this is my journal. So notes, my life story so far. I started out in Boston, August 29th, 1990. Lived in Boston for my first couple of years and moved to Foxborough where my mom grew up. Uncle Dave lived in Albro, and Uncle Tom in Foxborough. Went to preschool in Taunton where my mom worked. Then I had Miss Waterman for kindergarten teacher. In my first grade, I met some cool kids. I had Miss Schulhouse, I think it's how it's spelled. That year, the Patriots went to Super Bowl. In second grade, I met a friend, Ryan. He was a pain. And I met Justin Thomas. I had Miss Hagan and started karate at Personal Best. In third grade, I had Miss Hagan again. She took me and another student out to Friendlies, and I slept over his house once. Not the teacher, don't worry. In fourth grade, peer pressure started. I had Miss Gross. I started to hear bad words and repeat them. That's when I got good at yo-yo. I entered our school talent show and sort of idolized one of my classmates because he had a girlfriend and was cool. That year, I developed a crush on a certain person. Fifth grade, I had Miss Nitty and started to something about not to suck socially. Like I was not really good at being social. Talking about Zanity in the girls' bathroom incident. There's a day in fifth grade I was going to the bathroom, and then all of a sudden I just, like, the girls and the boys' bathroom are like 5-6 feet apart or so. And as I'm like coming out of the boys' bathroom for our break or whatever, I just hear the girls like whispering or doing something in the other room. So I put my ear up to the door, and then they open it and they're like, "Whoa, what's Zach doing there? This is crazy." So I guess I was going to the bathroom, and then I come out of the bathroom like a couple minutes later, and my teacher says, "So Zach, I heard you want to go in the girls' bathroom," and I'm like petrified, and I'm like, "No, I don't want to do that." And meanwhile, like some of my classmates, like the goofballs, like, yeah, we want to go. But I'm just like starting to freak out just a tiny bit because she's like calling me out. And then the teacher was like, let's go show you the bathroom. Like, come on, let's go. Now, I'm sure she was a lot more good-natured than the experience that I had, but I was petrified and freaking out, and I started crying. And so she, like, I don't remember if she grabbed my hand or she like ushered me over, but she like brought me to the girls' bathroom, opened the door. She's like, "Come on in." And I was like, and I was crying, and like, she was like, "Look, there's nothing else in here." Like, well, like, I think the girls that found me like trying to listen in, they must have been like either upset with me or they thought it was really weird, or I don't know, but I feel like they must have painted some kind of picture that I was being a real troublemaker. And I didn't know what I was doing. I heard them talking and gossiping or whatever. It just felt like something that I could listen in on. I don't know. So that was a rough day. Let's try another one. July 11th, 2006, Monday, 12:27 a.m. Weather is sunny, nice, humid. In the news today, Italy beat France for the FIFA World Cup. Federer beat Nadal for Wimbledon. I'm going to student council summer camp in 12 hours. I got my Xbox 360 this week. Dinosaur. The people who I'm excited about the people who I'm going to see. I'm concerned about if the people I'm going to are going to remember me or are going to remember me. Mentally, I feel fine. What I learned today, blank. People, things that brighten my day. My friend Mike, mom, and she helped me with a lot of stuff in the past 2 days. Goals, ideas for better tomorrow. Get summer reading done. Good things never last, so use them well. Good things never last. It sounds almost cryptic. What does that mean, Zach? Zach, what does that mean? Oh my God. So I said I got an Xbox 360 this week. I literally saved the wrapping and taped it. That's the Xbox 360 wrapping. Are you guys enjoying this? Like, I should probably go into the comments. Like, I can't tell if, 5 people are watching. I figure I must not be super, super boring. All right. So Chase and Mike are having a conversation back and forth. Good. Always wanted to visit. Always maybe definitely some space south. Do you journal dreams? I rarely dream any dreams I do. So Mike, talking about dreams, sorry, this is taking me so long to come back to you about it, but I have tried dream journaling. I don't know where it is. I have a journal somewhere that has a bunch of my dreams in it. I did read a book about lucid dreaming. Is it on here? No, it's not on here. But I did try reading a book about lucid dreaming after I saw the movie Inception. Really interesting thing about lucid dreaming is it's very attainable. It just takes practice. So you start out by dream journaling. You keep it like right next to your bed. The moment you wake up, try to remember anything you can. I think slowly as you start writing more and more things down, like you start remembering them better. As you keep getting better and better at doing that, you'll start to notice a couple different things about your dreams. So like you'll start, one of the things I noticed was like whenever I was trying to run, it was always like I was on a treadmill. I was like, I'm running, but I'm not moving anywhere. Or like I would go to like play basketball and like jump up and like I just couldn't dunk. Like I was just not even close. Like just like, there's cinder blocks on my feet. So what you start noticing, there's 4 different categories of things that happen in dreams. Form changes. So like, I don't know if anyone else has this experience. Like you're in one room of a house and then you go through the threshold of the door and then you're in another place, like another dimension. Physical, like what I had described, like jumping and running was weird. And then there's like 2 other categories. I think it's something with like people. So once you identify which things you notice more often, then you choose that category. So for me, it was like physical activity. And then what you do is you figure out what are those things that keep popping up. So for me, it was jumping and running. And then what you want to do is in your waking hours, you ask yourself, am I dreaming right now? Because what happens in our dreams is like, whenever we're really close to lucid dreaming, like, oh no, I'm not dreaming. Like this is just reality. This is normal. And so what we can do is when we're in our waking hours, test it out and don't say, I'm definitely not dreaming, but literally test it out. So for me, I'd be like, am I dreaming? And then I would find somewhere to go jump and I would see if it works and I would test it out. And I'd be like, and then I would make a conscious mental note, like, okay, I don't think I am. I think I'm not dreaming because the way I just jumped. So then because you've developed that mental habit, when you are dreaming, you'll go to do the same thing, but you won't lift off the ground. You'll be like, oh, I think I'm dreaming. And that's how you go to lucid dreams. So I think the value of dream journaling is that you can train yourself to lucid dream and notice what is in dreams versus reality. That's just me. I have found no other value to dreams besides that. I have been told that dreams can often be a survival tactic. So like back in earlier days, like caveman days, like if you were dreaming about things, it's because you're worried they're going to happen. And so your brain is trying to practice dealing with them ahead of time. So that's possible. It might give you a little bit of an idea of your subconscious and what you're really afraid of. Let's see. Yeah, sometimes I hardly dream. Well, the interesting thing I think about dreams is they're all weird. So whenever people say, oh, I had a really weird dream, I was like, no, you just had a regular one because they're weird. sad to say I've thrown most of my journals and writings from college backwards. Found the right. Oh, that stinks. Okay, topic. Dance history clothing. I would contend that some generations back have danced and worn far worse than some music of today. Interesting. Um, I'm not, when you say okay topic, I'm not sure if you're just kind of bringing it up over there or if you want me to speak on that. I don't know really anything about that. Cliff Tie's still there. I'm enjoying it. Glad to hear Mike and Tori and Kaylee and Deb, you're enjoying it. Thank you guys. I think certain types of dreams mean certain things. Yeah, Tori, I know that there are dream books out there that mean certain things. I'm not sure if I believe in them, but I'm not opposed to if people want to try to interpret my dreams for me. Debbie doing kid, things getting better. Tori. Have you ever had a falling dream? It's the worst. I don't think I have had I can't think of it off the top of my head, but I probably have. They say if you die in a dream like that, you die in real life. I don't know what to say about that. You just mentioned it in your journals. What did I just mention in my journals? Tori, falling? Or the dance clothes or something? Oh, about raunchy? I was talking about raunchy activities, not raunchy dress. So I do have older journals. I think the youngest I started journaling was like it's probably when I could first start writing. My mom plopped one in front of me for one of my birthday presents. And I always remember the idea of thinking it would be really cool to have sort of a timeline. The hell is that? That's it. Is a chocolate bar from Hilliard's. All right, I'm thinking I'll do one more and then we'll call it a day. All right, December 16th, 2006. I seriously spelt Saturday wrong with an E. 6:32 p.m. The weather today is cool but really nice. The news: Brady broke up with his girlfriend. News and events of family and friends. Today was my first winter track meet. I did okay in the 1,000. We played football forever after the meet. I'm excited about practice on Monday. I'm going to start high jump. I'm concerned about how good I will be, all the crap I have to do tomorrow, how my status is with some people. That it probably means girls and or friends. Physically and mentally, I feel kind of tired but comfortable. What I learned today, one of the kids is one of the student players on the team is a pretty fast runner. People, things that brighten my day: Ricci, Johns, P. Martin, Bellahan, LeBlanc, Keefe, Rizzo. One of the little brownie girls selling cookies. Maloney, one of my coworkers from last year, Geary, Alaska, Haddad. What I did to brighten someone else's day: ran fast, played football well. Goals and ideas for a better tomorrow: go a little faster during the race. It doesn't really hurt you at the end. Interesting. I was probably pacing myself. And this is kind of fun. All right, so we got a receipt here from Stop and Shop. Looks like I bought some cookies from the bake shop, and then a quarter pass. Isn't that fun? Quarter pass from December 20th from Study Hall, 12:37 to, I don't know where that is, but that's my old coach, Mr. Murphy, signed off on it. So yeah, that's some of my journaling. Thank you for the people that stayed on. It appears that some of you enjoyed it. Oh, journaling. Hey, what's up? I was watching Netflix. Hetalia at the Fallout 21 fandom. How do I deal with? How do you deal with what? He's good reflection, Zach. Good night. Thanks, Mike. Homophobia. Homophobia in my school. Well, I would say one thing that I would say the fandom of Hetalia, I'm going to call you. Um, I think the thing you can recognize is that you only have control over your own actions. You don't necessarily have control over everyone else's stuff. So if they are scared or fearful or mean, the best you can do, I think, to start is just recognize that it's not about you. You don't have to take it personally. As much as it might feel personal, it's more about them feeling uncomfortable than it is about them disliking or hating or being fearful of you. It's over there with them. When they're the ones that are upset and fearful, it's about them and their own BS. It's not about you. So that's one place to start. And the next place to start, I would say, is if you can start bringing up conversations with them to help them realize that you're just a normal person. I'm assuming that you're part of the LGBTQIA community, but I thought it was interesting. At one time, I was talking with a student that was homophobic, and ironically, I said, a couple of your friends are gay. He's like, "What do you mean? I don't know." It was so perfect because the friend that was gay was sitting right next to him, and they said, "Hi, my name's this. I'm gay," and it was like one of the most perfect, like picturesque moments that belonged in a movie. Um, so the lesson from that is um, a lot of homophobic people don't realize that they're friends with gay people. So if they can recognize that they've already accepted people in their lives that are gay, um, I think there's a good chance they could sort of be converted into realizing, oh, there's nothing really that bad here. Like, I like this person. They're cool. So those are some ideas for you. Don't take it personally, and help them realize that they're already probably friends with some gay people. If not, I guess the question is, when you're saying dealing with it, how is it impacting you? Like, are you being bullied? Are they trying to hurt you? Is it just kind of in your head and it's annoying, or is it kind of in your head and you're sad or scared, or like what's going on in there? Yes, I finally found the game I started thinking of when you were talking about dreams. It's called Catherine and It's Lovely. I don't believe I've ever heard of that, Dove. Hey, Sleep. To be honest, I just brush it off. Be confident in yourself and let them waste their time on being negative. Seriously, Tori hit it on the head. Natalia, I love your username, and oh my God, Dan's in your pic. I don't know what I'm looking at there. Who's Dan? Oh, Dan from Dan and Film, I'm guessing. I have a few gay cousins in my family. Bye-bye, Mike. Oh, yeah. Night, Mike. Thank you for being on. Thank you so much for I hope that helps, Hatalia. I have a few gay uncles and my aunt is bi, and I'm a ace, I think. Also, thank you, Killer. Well, nice. Hey, Gemma. Statistics show 1 out of 10 people are gay. There have been moments when I feel like that number could be higher than 1 out of 10. It was when I was at the Boston Pride Parade. I was talking with one of the advisors, and they said how many students are in their gay straight alliance, or there's a new set of words they're using for GSA. Either way, it turned out that like more than like it was like 15% of their school part of GSA. Oh, thank you, Gemma. I appreciate that. Thank you for the super chat. I hope I haven't watched your live stream yet about the goal setting, but I'm probably thinking when I'm packing my bags tonight, I'll put it on and listen to it while I'm moving around. Not this fool. Well, so I want you guys to, moderators, I don't want you to kick out YY just yet. We might, but just in the chat, I want you to notice what was the reaction you all had when YY came up. So YY is arguably one of the reasons that a lot of you have found me. So YY has contributed back when my gay pride flag video was at about 2,000. this individual contributed over 200 comments. And because of that, a lot of people were able to find this channel. So the good and bad news is they're sort of a double-edged sword. They're kind of useless besides the fact that they're part of the reason that y'all found me. The other good news is YY makes some really dumb comments that are really easy to shake off. So what could be great practice is noticing what some really great practice is just noticing that they're just gonna say their dumb stuff and you can just shake it off. So I would just let them be their trolly stupid selves and yeah, just kind of like roll with it. If they're being I was thinking about ending soon anyway, so just remember we can all recognize right now YY is sort of hypocritical in some way because they're subscribed to my channel. They talk a lot of smack on here, but they're still contributing. Yeah, I'm sure you're just killing time because that's how people kill time. They pay us a lot of it. That this person pays us a lot of attention. So we can, if you guys have enjoyed my channel in general so far, thank this person for helping them get to you. If it weren't for YY, that pride flag video would never have made it to 93,000 views because it never would have made it to like 5,000 views. And that's part of the reason that it ended up on the suggested list. So waiting on a flight, checking on you, Watson. All right, interesting. When are you free for part 2 of the interview? It's a good question, Gemma. I would say it could be up to 3 weeks for that. I would say I probably could squeeze in tomorrow, but I have a lot of things I got to do before I leave for San Francisco. So that would be challenging. If you can host it and send me a Google chat invitation, then I can do it. But I will likely not be able to host it because I'm probably not bringing my laptop with me to the West Coast. Yeah, this live stream will still be up after it ends, Italia. Sorry, I'm just reading through the comments. I could have said that. What a weirdo that dude is. It's interesting. I'm pretty sure YY is a male, but they've never actually said enough about their lives to say whether they're male or female. The only thing that I know about them is that they have a sister that is apparently a doctor, and they don't seem to think that the equality in the workplace is a thing. They just think it's that women don't choose to work in certain places. So that's why equality the way it is. Mike, thank you. Appreciate that. By the way, YY, check this out. Is I got monetized and you helped me do that. Mike, thank you. I really appreciate that. Okay, I think I'll do private 1-to-1 call on Google Hangouts. That sounds good. Yeah, Kaylee, I kind of agree. I really do feel like YY must be really young, but at the same time, every once in a while, they sound really convincing. YY says that they're older than I am. I still have no idea. By the way, I have a good safe trip to CA. Thank you, Mike. By the way, Mike, I'm pretty sure you live in California, right? What part of California are you in? It might be, I don't know if you're close enough. It might be really cool to say hi. We could do an interview or something. No, there is no wage gap. And yes, I'm older than you, Watson. See, I have a hard time believing that. But there actually, like, there is a wage gap. Like, if you look at all females and you look at all males, like, there's actually a gap, like, that's real. It's statistical and factual, and you can't, you can disagree with numbers all you want, but you're gonna have a hard time with that. Zach, don't let him get to you. No, I'm not. That's why we've kept him on, Jim. We haven't booted him at all. If he was getting to me, I guess I would probably boot him, but at the same time, I feel like I would just want you guys to be entertained watching me deal with the stress of it. But YY doesn't faze me. I have and know the stats show otherwise. Maybe. Sad if you're older than him and you're homophobic and don't believe in the wage gap. Seriously, Los Angeles area. Oh yeah, LA is a little bit lower. I live in Cali too. LA, in fact. Devin, Mike, you guys should meet each other. You guys are in the same area. But 16 from cursing you out. Let me. Hey, go for it. I'm not gonna stop. You can swear up all you want. Go for it, Sleep Master. AYY, can you help my channel grow? Careful, Kaylee. One thing I will say is YY has said some pretty disgusting things, so brace yourself a little bit. I will say the advantage of me dealing with this hater is I have developed tough skin. Some people have a hard time handling them. They go from like 6th grade level insults to like, some upper level like teenage insults. So it's hard to like Tinkerbell. It's like a little bit next level. It's like maybe freshman year, still pretty low level, but sometimes they can sometimes YY's gotten to me a little bit before, but because it was in the comments, not live stream, I've had time to sort of collect myself. But yeah, careful, Kaylee. If you ask them, they might come over and start giving you some serious hate. Just be prepared. It's an opportunity to develop tough skin. Just remember, this person seems to enjoy their life, and it's not like they're gonna come through the computer and try to hurt you and spend time besides displaying garbage comments on the internet. Like they're not the death threat type. They're too. I think they care more about their life than throwing it away to kill someone else. So kill hate with kindness, devil. You're doing well with replying. YY hates facts. Probably feeds electrolytes. It's what plants crave. Go for it, Tinkerbell. I'm not of soft skin. Interesting. Lancaster, of course. YY, of course I have. We're not bothering anybody. I hope you enjoy your trip. Chino Hills, you're not too far. We just had to come out to 3 people. I was not counted. Hey, congratulations, Ian. I had to come out to 3 people and I was not comfortable shaking them. And you make me smile. I'm glad to hear that, Ian. Thank you for sharing that. I'm glad. Thank you, Kaylee, as well. I should probably get to bed. It's like, Zachariation, why are you still awake? It's 1:21, sir. It's past your bedtime. So for those that recognize the name Zach Asian, he had the orange Z icon. That's Big Zach. He's the one that he showed up a couple times on stream. The night that I was having like a bonfire, did some poetry. That was him in the background. One of my best friends, and he's one of my best men at my wedding. All right, ready to go now. I have a wardrobe ready tomorrow. Work down the house. Okay. Fair enough. I guess that's good reason to still be up. All right, humans. I love you. Part of me wants to really watch more of this unfold with YY, but at the same time, it's not always healthy to spend time around such negative people. It's 6:20. Gemma, you're a straight savage for being up this early to watch this. I admire the dedication, though. All right, I'm logging out. I gotta do some packing. I gotta do some things. One thing I am looking forward to, and I don't want you to get your hopes up too much, but I think I might have mentioned this at the beginning. So Emmanuel Talks Depression is a YouTube channel. He came out with this video called The Meaning of Life, and he's just kind of talking over some music and some B-roll. And I'm looking forward to doing something similar. I'm planning on doing a little more creative editing rather than straight live streaming. I really liked what he created, and so I said, "Hey, I hope you don't mind if I hope you don't mind if I kind of copy you." And so I'm looking forward to, in the next week or so, I'll be coming out with something a little different than you guys are used to seeing from me. So I hope you enjoy it. Good night. Thanks, you're 12 a.m. for your F boy. Night night. Thanks, you're everyone. See, curse about. See, sleep masks, remember, if you curse them out, they're stealing energy from you. But if you can just kind of laugh at them, they're going to just spin their wheels doing whatever it is that they do. Oh, my computer's about to die. You still unemployed, Watson? No, I actually had 5 job offers in the past month, and I just chose last Monday which one I'm going with. So I'll be starting there September 4th. The only thing bugging why is that every time I type that autocorrect, they change it to you. Yeah, I know what you're saying. All right, I'm gonna log off. Good night, humans, and and Gemma has been doing some goal setting that I invite you to check out. That's the workshop that I sort of created. I'm gonna be checking out my Wi-Fi's menu, babe. Hey, YY, you should probably start your own channel and create some videos. Yes, a job offer. I've encouraged YY to make their own channel, make their own videos, like allow themselves to be have people have access to like commenting on them, but they kind of wimp out. They're just not about that life of like living in the public eye and being able to shake off haters themselves. They just like being a hater. So cheers to the haters out there helping my new friends find me. I appreciate your attention, YY, and to Gemma, and to Mike, and to Chase. Thank you for the super chats. Very, it's very confirming that I feel like I'm doing good out there, and I'm glad that you guys are getting value. So if you like this, give it a like. If you dislike this, give it a dislike. YY, hit that dislike button. I know you dislike this. If you want more, subscribe. If you think someone would benefit from this video and or my channel, share it with them. Thank you for watching. Stay weird, humans. Good night.